Yo, welcome back to Inside the Lunchbox. This is your boy, Chef MaQ, also with the infamous...
The legendary, as they would say.
Rex.
Yeah. Happy holidays, everyone. Merry Christmas to those who celebrate. And this is the episode after Thanksgiving, so we've got to be discussing that holiday as well.
Thanksgiving. We all have something to be thankful for. But real quick, man, you could definitely find us on all social media platforms. Apple Podcasts. You can find us on Instagram, also on TikTok, under the tag name Inside the Lunchbox. So check us out. You can also find our episodes on YouTube as well.
Oh, yeah.
So let's go, man. So how was your Thanksgiving, Mr. Rex?
Thanksgiving was amazing. So last year, it was my first year back in Houston after living in East Texas for several years. And so last year, I had this really nice guy named of Christopher who invited me to his house for Thanksgiving, and we had a blast, if you remember that.
Yes, I do, man. We had a great time.
Yeah, and that was a wonderful meal. And then this year, I've been dating this wonderful woman since about February. Yeah, I know. Finally, Chris hooked me up with somebody. And we got engaged in July.
What?
And so I got to spend Thanksgiving with her family. So it was my first Thanksgiving with her family. And it was amazing. The food was absolutely awesome. Like every single member of the family brought like one big dish or whatever.
Yeah.
And all of it was just outstanding. My mouth was watering the whole time. And so I joke about like my future mother-in-law was there. So I'm trying to like heap praise on the future mother-in-law. I'm trying to butter up the mother-in-law on Thanksgiving. And like all the other family members were getting offended. Well, you didn't mention my dish. You didn't mention my dish. What about the aunt's dish? I'm like, guys, can a guy try to butter up his mother-in-law on Thanksgiving without getting the third degree from everybody else?
They're getting jealous already.
They were, but it was great. All the food was wonderful. My fiance made these like amazing mashed potatoes.
Ooh.
The turkey was amazing. The stuffing was amazing. The mac and cheese was to die for. It was just good all the way around.
Nice, man.
Yeah, I was just getting fat watching the Lions win on Thanksgiving.
There you go. So a lot has happened in 1 year from the time we did our last Christmas.
Yeah,
a lot has happened. My best friend, my brother, has met a beautiful woman. He's engaged, and he's doing great things, man. I'm happy for you, bro.
Yeah, no. And then today I found out I did my final update with the VA.
Yeah.
And they just cleared me for cancer 5 years running.
What? Congratulations, bro. Man, we ain't got no applause on there or something?
I thought we had an applause on there.
Where is it's somewhere on there. Wait, so it's 5 years cancer free?
That'll work.
Yes.
So, so I was diagnosed in like the end of 2018. I got chemo in August of 2019 is when I started chemotherapy. And then I was cancer-free as of like November, December 2019. So this was the 5-year follow-up.
Nice.
They're supposed to test you multiple times over those 5 years to kind of keep an eye on you to make sure it doesn't come back. But because I had moved around a lot, it's hard to get back in with the VA once you get out of the VA. So finally, I was finally back in Houston. And I went back to the Houston hospital that I initially got the cancer treatment for, and I scheduled some follow-ups with them. They looked at my blood, and then they did a CT scan like a week ago.
Nice.
And they just got all those results back, and I sat down with my cancer doctor, and he's like, you are cancer-free.
Yes.
And so since it's 5 years, I'm officially declared cured of cancer.
Yes.
So there
Thank
it is.
God, man. I've been doing a lot of praying for you, brother.
I appreciate that.
But so for my Thanksgiving, it's something that I normally do. The last year I didn't do it. Of course, I had my family over and also had Levi over for Thanksgiving. And the year prior to that, I would go up to the VFW, which is Veterans of Foreign War, for all veterans that have spent time in a war zone. So we went up there and we had a whole potluck Thanksgiving. It was amazing. We had a great turnout. People came there. They got fed. We laughed. We joked. We played some games. And I also invited some other of my coworkers that their family wasn't there, who are here in Texas. So they came out and they had fun. And the food was amazing. The stuffing was great. The turkey. Look, that was one of the first turkeys that I actually had to carve. And when I carved it, the juice of that turkey pretty much all over my face. Yeah. You know, it scared the crap out of me. I was like, wow, that's a juicy turkey.
Yeah.
But man, we had great fun. A lot of kids came through. And Thanksgiving was definitely a success this year, man.
That's awesome. That's good to hear. And I mean, it was on my side too. The turkey was, and here's the deal about like how good all these dishes were. The turkey was the least impressive part of the meal, but it was still an amazing turkey.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Right. I remember growing up in like the 90s, turkeys were dry back then. I don't know if they've changed or if people just have learned how to better make turkeys. But I remember as a kid, if you got a turkey, you were 50-50 chances of eating a dry bird. Nowadays, it seems like everybody knows how to make a nice, moist, delicious turkey.
So I don't know if this is the hack for making a moist turkey, but while I was in school, we got the chance to make a turkey. And what we did sounds horrible to this turkey. And I think I talked about it last year, but I'm going to talk about it again this year. We used a lot of butter for our turkey.
Yeah, wasn't it like the 5 Bs last year? The
butter,
the
baste, or something like that. Butter, breast, and baste or something like that. So we took a crap load of butter and we smeared it all on that turkey, inside the turkey, and we established a layer of butter goodness on that turkey, and then it helps with the juiciness now. And also brine,
butter based,
based and butter. I think
something. There was 5 of them. Brine, butter, based, baked.
Hey,
I don't know.
If you want to know about the 3 Bs, check out our last episode from last year on.
We've referenced it like 6 times in a bunch of episodes this year. It's always been like, we'll have to go back and listen to our own podcast,
right?
To know what the heck we were talking about.
Exactly.
We're great at taking notes around here, in case you haven't noticed.
I know. Hey, everything that we do here is almost like what do you call it? Freestyling, kind of say.
Well, yeah, I mean, between your work schedule, my work schedule, your personal life, my personal life, it's rare that it's to be able to sit down and have like notes ahead of time, and have like a prepared. We have done it on a few episodes, but most times it's like, heck, we just got to get in front of the microphones. We got to talk about Thanksgiving. You know,
just say something. But next year, 2025. Look, we already have our shows already lined out all the way through October. I think I have it set up for, and we're definitely going to be having a lot of notes taken down and presenting you with a little bit more better quality of a podcast. Even though the podcast is already great. Yeah. It's already good because I like the way that we do a lot of freestyling, but it comes together.
It does
all the time. So Thanksgiving is gone.
What are your favorite Thanksgiving dishes?
Yeah, that's right. Let's go back to that. So my favorite Thanksgiving dish this year, that turkey was really good.
Yeah.
And the lady that made the turkey, her husband actually played Santa this year. But that turkey was great.
So, like, let's say going into 2025, what are your top 3 dishes you're looking forward to when it comes to Thanksgiving?
Definitely the stuffing or dressing. We had an argument about the difference between stuffing and dressing last year. So we're going to say dressing. Definitely a dressing. I would like homemade cranberry sauce, not that canned crap. And I would have to say the turkey, man. And the baked macaroni and cheese is definitely.
The mac and cheese. So I am not a stuffing or a dressing guy. It probably, again, growing up in the 90s, the stuffing when the dressing was dry all the time, and I didn't like it. No offense to my grandma's cooking. She's a great cook on literally everything else. So this year, my fiance's family has this dressing, and I'm being polite, so I'm trying it, and it was absolutely amazing.
Yes.
It was the number 1 dish, in my opinion, at this meal, was the dressing. And I'm not a dressing guy. I don't like dressing. So now moving forward, I would have to say the dressing is my favorite part of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and once you find it, it becomes a great part because, believe it or not, dressing is, if you think about it, it's like the most easiest thing to make. Also the most easiest thing to mess up.
Yeah.
And the most easiest thing to get dry. And that's why people don't like it, because it's too dry.
Yeah.
But I found out a way to make it always moist. And I found this out 2 days ago.
Nice.
3 days ago. We were having our Christmas trimming party at the VFW.
Yeah.
And we had a potluck. And one of the members of the post, his wife, brought stuffing or dressing. And as I'm going down the line, I'm like, ooh, somebody made dressing. Like, okay, I'll try it. And oh my God, it was moist and it was delicious. And I went back for 3rds, 4ths, and 5ths. And
nice.
What she made it in makes complete sense.
What'd she make it in?
She made it in a slow cooker.
Oh, like a crock pot?
Like a crock pot.
Oh, wow. Huh.
That's the same thing I said.
Interesting.
And it stayed, and it was moist and it was great.
Huh.
It was great. That's the same. I was like, he's on to something here.
We need to track down that recipe and get it on the Patreon.
It was really good. It was really good. Really, really good.
Nice.
But I'm definitely looking forward to those. But like kind of like off Thanksgiving, I also kind of like the fried turkey.
Yeah.
A little bit. Shout out to all you guys that are attempting to fry turkeys. Let me know how your experience was.
I've had a fried turkey one time. This was back in 2021 with my roommates at the time. They were making a deep fried turkey, and they did it in the backyard. I wasn't there for when it happened. I was working so much that year. But yeah, they made a deep fried turkey, and I was able to try it. It was actually pretty darn good. I would have to say it was a pretty darn good bird.
Yeah.
I'm never going to be brave enough to try that, though, because
just so much could go wrong.
So many things could go wrong. And with my experience in the Navy, all the firefighting we did in the Navy, I'm just like, there's too many points of failure there.
Yeah.
I'll put my turkey in the oven. Thank you.
Every year, I like to watch the TikTok reels and the chive reels of people trying to fry turkeys and just look at them like just idiots.
Yeah.
You got one guy, it was his first time, and he just took the turkey right out of the thing. He kind of patted down a little bit, and then he goes right into the fire, and it just goes over. My understanding is that the turkey can't be, of course, it's grease. It can't be wet.
Right, because water and oil don't go well together. Yeah, it can't be frozen.
Yeah.
It can't be wet. The bird has to be pretty darn dry. You also have to make sure that your oil level isn't too high. Otherwise, it'll spatter out the top and hit the flames.
Yeah, I got time for all that.
One of the most successful ones I saw was they removed the oil from the flame first. Then they put in the turkey. Then they brought the flame back to the oil, and that one seemed to work. Again, that's just a lot of work to fry a turkey.
Yeah, it was. Yep. So I ain't got time for that. Butter based. I'm gonna get those 3 B's. I'm gonna go back and look at that
brine,
episode.
butter based.
But I thought it had something to do with the turkey breast.
Something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
something.
So Thanksgiving. I hope your guys' Thanksgiving was fantastic. Remember, you have to be thankful for something. Thankful for your life. Thankful for your family.
Thankful for your health.
Thankful for your health. And this is the time of the year where you set all your problems and the issue aside. Come together as a family. Enjoy your loved ones, because at the end of the day, that's all you have.
Yeah.
It's your loved ones. And if there's any issues with any of the loved ones, come together, talk it out, and just love. That's all you have to do is just love. Just learn to love. This world is not how it should be. But we can make it better by coming together and doing our duties as like loving our family.
Yeah.
And loving the community, helping the community. Because last year, I think around this time, we was also down doing the what organization was that?
Food Not Bombs.
Food Not
Bombs.
Yeah,
it was around this time last year.
So we definitely had to go back out there and pay some, see those guys again. But so now Christmas is here, or en route.
It's coming. Yeah,
Christmas is coming. I hear the joy bells ringing,
and it looks like there's
wrong button. Yeah, Christmas on its way. So, little know about me is I'm quite the Christmas girly. I love everything Christmas. It was just the best time of year growing up as a kid. It's the few times of the year that like our whole family would be together and we'd all be happy. I came from a really big family. So, everything from decorating outdoors to decorating the tree to making Christmas cookies to caroling. It's actually just my favorite time of the year. And this year, I was blessed to be able to go to the Christmas tree lighting in Conroe with my fiance, and that to her is like the start of the Christmas season for her. Is when we see the big tree get all lit up, and she gets to go out there and meet everybody and have a good time.
And that was here in Conroe?
Yeah, it was right downtown Conroe at the park. They had the big tree, and they had the mayor out there taking pictures with people. The Santa Claus, who's usually out there, wasn't there this year, but they had the whole marketplace set up. You go get yourself some tamales, you get yourself some hot chocolate. There was a rock climbing thing going on that the kids got to do. So I got to start my Christmas year off just right, spending time with the family. My fiance was out there, her best friend was out there with all the kids, and just had a grand old time.
That's awesome, man.
And then there was the Christmas tree trimming party at the VFW. So yeah, that was always fun.
Christmas is definitely. I'm kind of weird. I don't normally always put up a Christmas tree. I can't speak. A Christmas tree for Christmas,
right?
but I definitely do celebrate it with my boys.
Yeah.
And we kind of do things a little non-traditional, I guess. We don't always wrap gifts,
Right.
but we do spend a lot of time with each other.
Yeah.
And we do go out and help the community. I'm really big in my veterans and helping the community before anything.
Yeah.
And but I did order the boys a gift, and they got to open one of their gifts.
Nice.
And but yeah, Christmas is another time of year, man, that you also have to be thankful for, because in 5 days you're going into a new year.
Yeah, you're going into a new year, and it's just the time of year I think that we all just as a community just agree that, like, we're going to put aside the year's over, right? Mm-hmm. Whatever heartaches or trials you've been through in the year, it's in the past.
Yeah.
It's time to celebrate. It's time to be grateful for what you have. It's time to spend time together as a family. It's time to just be giving, and that's in my nature. I love giving. So this year so far has gone off to a great start. I've gotten a bunch of presents stuffed away in the spare room for the kids.
Oh, nice.
I got my fiance a few nice things. I got to get her a couple more nice things before the holiday gets here. In some years, when I was single, I didn't always put up a tree, or I didn't always spend time with people. Sometimes I just, spent the holiday to myself, or I was working. I was always working a lot on the holidays.
Yeah.
But this year I'm making a dedicated effort to take time to, just have a good Christmas with my fiance and her kid,
So since we're a food podcast, is there any difference in a Thanksgiving meal and a Christmas meal?
Depends on your family traditions. I've told you a lot that my family growing up, sometimes we did a turkey, but more often than not, we would make like the chicken enchilada, special family recipe for Christmas.
Okay.
Sometimes my dad would get a bunch of ribeyes, and we'd just have steaks for Christmas dinner. Okay. It just depended, I think the traditional Christmas meal is very similar to the Thanksgiving meal, but that's because they land really close to each other in the year.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of the times throughout the year you just grab a turkey and cook it, right?
Exactly.
So I think in some places they do geese instead of turkeys for Christmas. Okay. But the meals are very similar. You're going to have a lot of the same stuff.
So, the one thing that I'm not going to say I hate, because I love my state, but the one thing I would like to have more of in Texas is one of the things I've always wanted. I got the chance to experience it quite often growing up as a military brat. But I would love to play in the snow during the winter months, December, and making snowmans and decorating the snowmans and snowball fights. And we don't really get that here in Texas. I would love to take my boys somewhere where they could experience a white Christmas.
So my home state of New Mexico, we would usually get our first big snow that would stick to the ground around Thanksgiving. And then the snow would probably all melt and go away, and then you might get one really good snow right around Christmas time. And so I had quite a few white Christmases as a kid. I was really blessed to do that. If you want to go somewhere where it snows in October and you don't see the ground again until like May, I recommend Chicago. That place snows and snows and snows. Like, you don't think of Chicago as a place of like a lot of snow all the time. You think like maybe New York City or something like that. But I don't know. When I was stationed in Chicago, it snowed in October. And the snow never melted, and it would stick to the ground, and it would just pile up and pile up and pile up between October and like March or April or even May sometimes. It was just terrible.
That's how it was in Germany, man. That's one thing. The 3 years I was in Germany as a kid, like you said, it would snow in October, and that same snow would be there until spring.
Yeah,
and but then like in the streets, they would plow it, and it would turn into mush because the cars kept driving over it, and they'll come and plow it. But that same snow that was pushed to the side.
We had this parking lot on base where like they would come in with a tractor and scoop up all the snow, make it into a big pile. Yeah. That giant pile of snow just kept growing and growing and growing all year until it finally melted away in like May. It was absolutely terrible. After that year in Chicago, I was very good on the whole white Christmas. I was like, I had a couple white Christmases as a kid, got to snow on Christmas Day, got to go sledding in the snow on Christmas Day with my grandpa.
Some hot chocolate.
Yeah, that's all fine and dandy, but my blood is not good. I was a skinny kid growing up. Now I'm a bigger person, but like I'm good on the cold. I'm not a summer person either. Don't get me wrong. I hate summer, especially here in Texas with as hot as it gets.
We can't please him. He doesn't like winter or summer.
I love autumn and I love spring. I'm happy half the year.
That's hilarious.
So when it comes to back to the food, right? And I think we talked about this last year a little bit, but just to kind of double check on it, I don't think when you think of Christmas food, you're talking about the turkey or all the other stuff. You can, but I think when it comes to Christmas, you're talking about the fudge recipes, the peanut brittle recipes, the sugar cookie recipes. Baking. So we had, as a kid growing up, we had bake days where my family had, my mom and dad had these recipes that were handed down from like our great aunt or whatever. And we would break them all out. We'd have like one big bake day in the middle of December. And we would make all these containers full of peanut brittle, of fudge, of sugar cookies. And then we would even make like tins and we'd take them to church and we'd give them to families at the church. We'd give everybody like 10 or 12 tins full of cookies away. That's what I think of when I think of Christmas food. I don't necessarily think of like the ham and the turkey, but that's where I think that Christmas shines, is in the baking department.
I agree with you 100%, man. I think that is the one thing that's different than from Thanksgiving and Christmas is more baking. More
sweets. Like you got your pies on Thanksgiving, and that's all grand. You have your banana pudding on Thanksgiving, that's grand. That was terrific, actually. You might have your cheesecakes on Thanksgiving, but when it comes to like December, that's when everybody's breaking out the cookie recipes, the fudge recipes.
Yes, I agree.
The brownie recipes. You got to leave some cookies for Santa Claus. That's when you break out like the eggnog and the hot chocolate. And stuff.
I have eggnog right now.
Yeah, I've already been through 2 things of eggnog already. I'm an eggnog girly.
I've been through 2. This is my 3rd one right here.
Yeah, and apparently, and I didn't know this was a thing until this year, but there's a whole cult of people that wait every year until like the Little Debbie's releases their special Christmas sweets.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was a thing.
Hold on, is that something that Tiffany's involved with?
Yeah, and all her weird friends.
Because I remember her saying
we've gone to
we need these cookies. It's the same thing
every year. But I actually tried one for the first time this year. I can understand it.
Is there a difference?
Yeah, the little tree-shaped cakes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're good. And like the donuts, I wasn't too super hyped about, but they're pretty darn good. Yeah. But yeah, no, they're sweetened a little bit differently. They're cooked a little bit differently.
I thought they were all the same. That's why I never bought them. Like, it's the same stuff.
No. But like on her Facebook, she'll have like 13, 14 people like tagging her and be like, this is where they're at. They're here. They're over here. Because they'll sell out right away, right? So like there was this whole like hunt earlier in the month where we were looking for the specific Little Debbie treats that only come out during December. Didn't know that was a thing, but now I understand.
Huh. Maybe we need to get her on the show and start talking about her
Little Debbie's.
Her Little Debbie's.
Yeah. She's also like a great cook, so I mean, we need to get her on the show and talk about her mashed potato recipe, because that was the bomb.
Nice.
I never know someone put mayonnaise in mashed potatoes, but it works.
Wait.
On top of like 5 other things.
Did you say mayonnaise?
I think it was mayonnaise, yeah.
I put sour cream in mine.
It might have been sour cream,
but
I don't know.
I don't know about mayonnaise. I mean,
it might have been.
I can see mayonnaise, because mayonnaise is.
She also had like heavy whipping stuff. Like she was adding all kinds of stuff, and like mashed potatoes to me as a kid growing up, like you mashed the potatoes, added a little bit of milk and butter, warmed it up, and fluffed it, right?
Yeah.
No. She was adding like 5, 6 different things into there.
So that's what I made for the Thanksgiving potluck. I made mashed potatoes.
Oh, yeah?
And what I did is I cooked, grabbed me some potatoes, boiled them. I put
red or brown potatoes.
I did the Yukon Gold.
Oh.
And I put sour cream. I got green onions, because they didn't have chives, and I chopped them real fine. I put sour cream, chives, garlic, butter, and I think I put bacon fat in it. Bacon. So it was like a fully loaded mashed potato.
Sounds good.
Oh, and I put smoked cheddar in it. That's
smoked cheddar in it.
Yeah. When I went back, I told my son, I was like, "Hey, is there any mashed potatoes left?" He's like, "Nope, they ate all of it." So they love the mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
So, hey, Tiffany, you need to give me your mashed potato recipe, and I challenge you to a mashed potato duel.
Yeah, mashed potato cook-off. There we go. Yeah. No. Yeah, I was shocked at all the different things she was putting into it, and the amount of time she spent on those potatoes. So yeah. So
Christmas, folks. Like I said, I was in Germany for some time, and I loved it there. Their Christmas spirit there is strong, and it has that old like 1800 style buildings, like early 1900s, 1800 style buildings. So it actually brought the Christmas spirit out a little bit more because as a kid, you think about like all your Christmas stories from back in the day. And to me, it has all that. It sets the ambiance right. Europe sets the ambiance for Christmas, and I loved it. So whenever I get the chance, I definitely want to take my boys out there to experience the Christmas in Europe. Christmas in Europe is fantastic.
On my on my second deployment, my first deployment I spent in the Eastern Med. We spent Christmas there, right? So we got in theater in around October. We didn't leave until like March or April. So we spent Christmas Eve in Israel, which was a whole thing. But then on my second deployment, we got home from deployment on like the 23rd. So we, on our way out of the Persian Gulf, we got to stop in France on our way home.
Okay.
Sailing back to the U.S. And so we were in France maybe like December like 18th or something like that, like 5 or 6 days before we made it across the Atlantic Ocean.
Okay.
And so they had it all decorated out. We were able to get out, get off the ship and go like shop around and stuff on, it was their Christmas festival was happening at the time. And so I would agree with you. Like, yeah, it definitely set the mood. All these old buildings. It looks like a snow globe.
Yes.
The snow globes
Yes.
have like all those really old buildings and you shake it and the snow's everywhere.
Yes.
It was like that.
And they have a lot of those in Europe. Like you can find those a dime a dozen, and they're all like different.
Yeah.
And they have like competitions, and they have like numbers on the bottom of it, like special editions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Their sun globe game up there is strong.
But their towns look like snow globes.
Yes,
if
they
you
do,
took their
yes.
town and you shook it and made all the snowfall,
Yes.
it looks like a snow globe.
That is true.
So it was great. Had a good time. Got to go to like this little marketplace, with these cobblestone streets and everything.
Nice.
And had a good time. Then we got back on the ship. Then we sailed. We stopped off like the Azores, and we made our way home to Florida, where our home base was. Like we made it home like 2 days before Christmas. It was great.
Nice. So with that being said, people, Christmas is the time, also just like Thanksgiving, to spend time with your family. And we just learned that it's time to bake.
Yeah.
Show your baking skills. I love sweets. I love cookies. I love donuts. I love all that stuff. So definitely show off your skills this year for Christmas. Pull out your recipe book. Pull out your baking book. Get your hat. Get your little your apron and a flour and go to town on it. And just keep going to town on with your baking and have fun with it. So with that being said, folks, Thanksgiving is in the past for 2024.
Yeah.
2024 was definitely a successful year. Let's try to do better 2025.
Yeah.
Christmas is still coming. Let's enjoy that. Let's prepare for 2025. Let's make sure that we love everybody. Just be more nicer to people.
Yeah, let's try to.
Let's try. Yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but what I'm trying to say is that let's be human and treat people like humans.
Yeah, because a lot of times, especially in the busy life, we can just tend to just not treat people right.
Yeah.
And growing up, with the life I had, I was definitely around a lot of that. And here's another thing, like Thanksgiving and Christmas are for the family, right? But you know what? If you have really terrible family members and you don't want to ruin your holidays by getting together with them, how about get together with your found family?
Yes.
How about that? Right.
Let's go. My house is open.
So I have a lot of family members that I just haven't really hung out with or spent time with in the last 4 or 5 years because they just had a really good way of ruining every holiday. And I see it on Facebook. People will be like, "Oh my God, so and so uncle's at the Thanksgiving, and it's going to be terrible." Well, that's not what Thanksgiving's about. Spend time with the family that you do enjoy spending time with.
I agree. 100%.
Spend time with the people who are closer to being family to you than your own family. If that's the case, not everybody has not everybody has drama in their family. But I feel like a lot of us tend to do that. And, I'm blessed with having a wonderful fiance who has great family who embrace me as one of their own. I'm blessed to have friends like Chris who treat me like family. I'm blessed to have a lot of friends who treat me like family. So I don't have to ruin my holidays by spending them with terrible. I'm just like, you know what? I'm busy. I'm booked out. I'm going to be somewhere else that day.
Yeah.
So have a great holiday season, everybody. If you have Christmas traditions or special Christmas foods, commented on our Facebook and or even in our YouTube comment section or wherever you see this. Just let us know what are some holiday traditions for you, and we might read them off in the next episode.
Let's go. So real quick, I feel sorry for Christmas babies.
Yeah.
I thought I'd throw that out there before we go.
My grandma was, I think her birthday is on the 28th. So she always got Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday presents. My sister was on the 31st, December 31st. So hers is New Year's Eve. So we were always very careful that we would get her Christmas presents, but then we would also get her birthday presents. So that way it wasn't one big party for her. But yeah, I always felt bad for people whose birthdays were like really close to December 25th. And it's just like, you really should set aside Christmas presents and birthday presents.
Yeah.
Don't get cheap on your kids.
Hey, all right, man. Well, that's it for. I think we got maybe one more episode.
We
left.
might squeeze one in, but the next time we'd be recording is like 2 days before Christmas.
Yes.
So you might not hear from us until New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, baby. Let's go. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all you guys out there in the podcast world. Kevin. What is your favorite Christmas movie, folks? Let us know.
Oh, Home Alone is one of them. Miracle on 34th Street, I think it's an underrated Christmas classic.
I could never get into that one.
Oh my God. It's perfect. You have Santa Claus, you have a kid who wants to believe, you have a love story, you have an evil corporation trying to ruin Christmas.
Hey, you know what?
It's the perfect Christmas movie, and I don't understand why it's not more loved.
Just give me Bad Santa and I'll be all right.
2 different flavors.
All right, folks. Good night. Have a great day. Love you guys. Inside Lunchbox out.